From the DJC Collectibles Studio, I'm Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. And now, here's a guy who's already 3 tangents in, Kyle Peterson.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again for episode number 59 of the Kyle Peterson Show. And today, a girl whose comedy shows are no laughing matter, Angie. Angie, say hello.
Hello.
Oh, never forget the time you bombed at the Funny Bone that one time. And then I saved Angie. She was supposed to have a quick 5-minute opener set. She only did 2. I got up there and did an extra 15.
I choked.
Yeah, she choked.
Like M&M on his mom's spaghetti.
Not the only time. Not the only time Angie's choked. Almost nightly. Almost nightly. You have just some trouble. But Angie, it's time for episode 59 of the Kyle Peterson Show. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm. I brought my Nito.
Oh, that's Nito? I guess I didn't know what Nito was, technically. I bought a lot.
I don't choke again. It helps my anxiety.
It helps your anxiety. There you go. Well, there you go. Well, Angie, we got quite the episode here, episode 59, on our way to 60, which means there's only 41 episodes left of the Kyle Peterson Show, Angie.
I thought you were going to say 69.
Well, that's 10 away from that. And by my math, once again, I got enough fingers to count, but we're dangerously close to episode 100. And that's where Angie is retiring once and for all. We'll see what happens there. We'll see if we can be convinced to stay. I don't know what'll happen.
We can't keep losing money on this.
It's a lost leader. And I don't know. It's a loss. Who knows?
I have to have a new outfit. We got to buy new food.
It's just very complicated. It gets even more complicated here today. But Angie, before we get too deep into it, I got a lot to get off my chest today.
Oh, God.
And you know how my chest is. It's a hairy rug like Tom Selleck or Scott Hall. Is it one of the hairiest chests you've ever seen in your life?
It's like,
what?
It's like when... It's like I get the little like pubes in my mouth.
Oh, you love those. You love those. It's free dental floss. But Angie, before we get too far into it, we got to thank the sponsor of the Kyle Peterson Show. It is DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Gotta get a deal.
You got really
out there. And Angie, we got a lot of stuff to dive into. We're just very, very fortunate. We're filming this about a week later from my disaster trip to Chicago. One of the all-time worst trips I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm going to break down every gory detail in this very video, Angie. I promised the people last week in my Toy News Weekly purchases, I almost got into it a couple times and said, nope, I'm going to save it for the podcast. Keep this away from the action figure stuff. I'm going to save it here. But I had one of the all-time worst trips. And you know most of this, I think. So we're going to dive into that. We got a few other things to talk about.
Very ladylike.
Well, Angie, nobody ever said. You know, we know it goes. Nobody accused. So, Angie, this week, though, I am on vacation.
Yes.
Yes, I am on vacation this week. I took Tuesday through Friday off from the old day job. The old bill payer, of course. But, Angie, I have had a week.
I've seen you in the office a lot for someone who's on vacation.
I know. So I've started off every single morning a couple hours working my day job on vacation is what I've been doing. And then about lunchtime, I check for about an hour. And then at night, I've been checking for stuff. And then I've been staying on top of it on my phone. There is no rest for the wicked, truly Ozzy Osbourne style. But I have a job where I can just never get away. There's no possible way. And I have more work on my plate than I've ever had before. So it's just constant things coming at me constantly. But I desperately needed time off for my mental health. My mental health? Mm-hmm. No, there's no such thing as my mental health. Nobody cares about it. You just got to plow through. That's what grandpas did back in the day. And if your grandpa could do it, guess what? Old Kyle can do it too. So I'm just plowing ahead. But I've been wanting to get time off. Now, I was supposed to be off last week. But then, Kyle, we need you in Chicago for this meeting. You got a 5-hour presentation you got to give. And oh, by the way, we need you to help present on this other thing too last minute. So that was fun. But they wouldn't let me take vacation. They're like, we really need you back. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm coming back. So I came back. But I needed to get my action figure collection back in order. That is what I've been doing this week, Angie.
Fertile.
I think Tuesday, was it? Tuesday? I spent like 8:30 in the morning. Once you and the kids went off to school, I went from 8:30 in the morning till almost 2 a.m. basically. I mean, I stopped to eat a couple of times for dinner and stuff. But I stayed down there and I worked. And I literally looks like I did nothing. It looks like I did nothing. And now I've got some pictures I'll post in here. I'll probably have a little video too. All leading up to another collection room tour here, maybe a year from now. We'll see what happens. But my collection was an absolute disarray because I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, I guess. When I do my reviews, I do a review. I have a little box. I use these Monster flats. You know, all the cases of Monster comes in. I put everything in there. I take it to my light box. I take my glamour shots. And then I used to, when I had more time, when I had more time just in general, I would then take that box and I put it away where it needs to go in my collection. Well, as you can imagine, day jobs, a life job, everything is just bigger and better than ever, I guess, coming at me constantly. I haven't had time, so I've been skipping that step. Okay, I got this whole wave of the new WWE line. I'll just leave it in that tray. And then all of a sudden I got another tray that stacks on. And all of a sudden I have them in order. I have them with their accessories. I just need to put them away. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I've been putting off for about the last 2 years is most people have seen my detolfs of WWE figures. I got those in the background. And every once in a while you got to refresh those a little bit because people get boxed in. There's those cubes. Now, perfect example, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline and stuff. We've had so many Jey Usos and Roman figures lately. Their one cube isn't enough to hold them all anymore. So I need the second cube. Well, the second cube's full of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is overflowing. So you got to move things around. I got to take one out, and then I can expand on the Bloodline. Seth Rollins goes to a different shelf where he can expand. It is a whole rigmarole. And after years and years of not reorganizing and doing that, all of a sudden now I'm caught. Hulk Hogan's caught. I'm maxed out in the Hulk Hogan section, maxed out Ultimate Warrior, maxed out on the Judgment Day Finn Balor section. So you have to pull a shelf out, expand on others, move it around, move and shake, do all this. So that is the worst thing because it takes forever and it looks like I did nothing. Now, Angie, you went down there. You said it looked like there was some progress, but it's not like somebody that spent 20 some hours down there in 2 days. You would think more progress would be made.
It's so meticulous, though.
It is, and that's the problem.
And you can't ask for help.
Yes.
I keep going down there to ask for help, and you ask if you need help, and you say, vacuum, and I'm like, where? Like, I can't even get a vacuum. There's not even a line I could put the vacuum.
And I say, Angie, here's what you can help me with. Here, yeah, you can help. Here it is. It'll just take you 2 seconds. Here it is. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, Angie's like, well, just tell me what figures to put in here. I'm like, well, the problem is you're going to put them in kamikaze order. They're going to be in a weird thing. So then I'm going to have to redo the whole shelf, which doesn't save anything. Yeah. So it's just a mess. But it's made a bigger mess by taking these out to put down and then moving and shaking. Mm-hmm. I just don't have enough time. I need another week off. And I thought I could get everything done in a week, but there's too much stuff at the day job coming at me. There are too many things going on. Million things, just a million things. And I'm not being able to get everything I want to done, unfortunately. But coming with this, I have went through, some of my doubles, things I have. We always end up with extra stuff. McFarlane, I get some, whatever it is. I've got 4 tubs of stuff to take to our friends over there. That cough, it's persistent. It's that hunter virus or whatever that is. Whatever that thing is from the rats. She's dying slowly. But I got 4 big totes of stuff I'm going to take to Jay's Toys and Games. It's so hard to say goodbye, Angie, of course. Just doubles, nothing really too exciting, nothing worth a fortune or anything, but just stuff I was like, I don't need this. Why do I have this? This was an extra. It was a $6 Bart gun or whatever it was. Get out of my house. Get this out of here. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing some of that stuff, but I literally probably need another 80 hours to do this. And I don't know when in my life I'll be able to do that besides maybe retirement because I have too much stuff at my day job coming in and keeping me occupied. So it's been absolutely crazy. I was hoping I'd have a lot more done. We'll see what happens though. I still got today as we're filming this right now on Thursday. I'll have this afternoon after this, a little bit this evening. We got to go to the mall, got to do some stuff, got to eat dinner, probably work into the night. But the hard part is this week, and I don't know if I'm giving everybody the secret sauce, but I haven't really filmed any videos. I usually get ahead on videos and stuff, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a little bit in a deeper dive. But it's been quite the vacation. Let me tell you, it's not all Bermudas and putting your feet in the beach in Jamaica or something like that, or Belize, or where all these people go these days. It's Kyle trying to get his action figure collection back in order. And I got big ideas of what I want to do. I'm just not sure how to do them. And honestly, everybody always says, people have been saying this for the last 6 years on the channel, Kyle, you're running out of space. Where you run out of space? Wasn't running out of space until just recently. I still got room. It's just the hard part is like, now I'm at a spot like my LJ and big rubber guys and stuff, and I'm just going deep into it, Angie. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that are really hurting me because right now I have them in 3D Tolfs, but we know how many of those figures are coming out for the big rubber guys now that Mattel's doing them again, the Latunis of the world. I've got enough for maybe another 6 months, a year maybe, to put in those 3D Tolfs. After that, it's maxed out, but I'm landlocked in. Where do I move those to? I would like to move those out of there. That frees up 3 more detolfs for elites for the next, that'll get me the next 5 years, I think, with the space I already have. So you're playing that game. But then where do I put all these LJNs and stuff? I'm not sure. And I've always said this, Angie. It's been a motto I've always said. I don't want to ever get a storage unit because at the end of the day, if you're just paying to store stuff, how much enjoyment are you getting out of it if you're paying for a storage unit? But that being said, I don't know what a storage unit costs. I haven't even looked into it, but I might. But
as long as you're filming, you could never do that because you access so many things.
And that's the thing. So part of me is thinking, like, do I take down all my Jakks Ruthless Aggression figures? I was thinking, do I take those possibly down, move the G.I. Joe stuff into that room? Then I could hang the Dragonfly and the Rattler from the rafters of the basement, which would look really cool. I don't know. So I'm a little bit torn. I'm a little bit stuck. So what I'm trying to do myself as best I can, Angie. I'm just rambling like a madman here. What I'm trying to do is I do the stuff I know that I can do now, get that done, and then worry about that. LJN, I'll worry about that on the next vacation if I ever get one.
I'm an angel is the bottom line.
You are an angel. You're an angel. You just float in every night, of course. But you're enjoying it. Let me tell you. But we'll see where that all goes. But it has been a week trying to get all that done amongst phone calls, emails, and everything else. I just need to get in the zone, get where I want to be. And one thing a lot of people ask me all the time, Angie, is how you probably got dusty shelves all the time. Oh, you got dusty shelves all the time. Not really. I don't really have much dust down there. It's not terrible. I've been redoing them. Of course, it's like good time to wipe it down. But I'll do about 5 detolfs with the same 3 paper towels. Like it's not overly dusty inside those detolfs. We sealed
the detolfs up good.
They're sealed up pretty good, and there's no light down there. So light is what creates a lot of dust and stuff like that. But Ace is getting some dog hair down there, though. We didn't have that problem with Lemmy and Domino, but we do have some dog hair down there. So the vacuum is going to get a workout here when this is all put away. And I'm just hoping there's nothing that the carpet monster is eating, like glasses or something like that I lose along the way. I don't think so. I hope
every
not.
time I vacuum down there, I just cringe when I hear a crunch.
Yeah, you just never know what it might be. You never know. So that's been my week of vacation. Angie, what have you been up to this week? What have you been doing this week? Anything fun? Anything exciting?
Just my normal day to day.
Yeah.
Kids and work, and
you got to get the kids Elle ready for her dance. She's got a big dance.
She got a dress.
Is it a dance or a sock hop? What is it? I think it's a sock hop. Maybe it's like the 50s, I think.
It's a formal.
So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that ends up going.
Oh my gosh.
But besides that, nothing else? Well, you're in luck. I have plenty more to talk about, Angie. First, let's talk about the Patreon. This month on the Patreon, the giveaway over there, Bebop and Rocksteady. Those are the giveaways. Bebop, Rocksteady, McFarlane Toys. Head over to the Patreon. So much content will make your head spin. You get early access to all the videos from both my YouTube channels. Early access to the podcast each and every week. You get the glamour shots for all the videos. You get a monthly bonus Q&A where Angie, you stole the show last week in the Q&A. I will tell you, it's been the most viewed Patreon exclusive Q&A video in history. So kudos to you for that. You also had probably the most signups in one day outside of the first couple of days of Patreon where, the real ones that have been around a long time. There was a lot of people that joined right at the beginning. It was probably the biggest one-day joiny-thon of the Patreon, Angie.
You have a lot of cancellations come June 1st.
That could be. So I plead with you. You guys, don't leave. Don't leave. But either way. But Angie was nice enough to do a Q&A over there. And Angie, you said it all and then some in that Q&A. So
could have said more.
Yeah, you could have said a lot more. But we told some wild stories that are just too hot for YouTube, too hot for the podcast, at least now. Maybe one day when we retire, we'll release that video. There's been a few people that have messaged me. I've seen comments saying, could you just put that video out? Could you just put it for everybody on YouTube? And it's like, you could pay $5 for that. I don't really want all that business out there, but we'll see what happens in the future. But you never know. Maybe, Angie, you could do the monthly Q&A every single week or every single month, Angie. Could be your monthly thing, Angie's Q&A corner. I just wish I didn't have to be there for it because that was the plan. As I talked about, I was so busy. You were going to take a load off me, more than one. You were going to take a load off me, and you were just going to handle that, and I was going to do whatever I needed to do. But Angie said, I can't do it by myself.
You being there made it better, though, because your reaction
I
to
guess.
the wild things I was saying.
But everybody said in the comments and messages that, Angie, you were way better than you give yourself credit for. And usually, I would say that's how most people have that thing. You always think you did a lot worse. Like, if you ever have to give a presentation in speech, going to get to that here in a little bit, you always think you do worse than you actually did. Because at the end of the day, when you're presenting, you're doing a little long thing, nobody in that crowd is rooting for you to do a terrible job. This is a little pro tip from Kyle here in the business world, a guy that's given a lot of speeches in his time. Everybody's really rooting for you, or they're rooting. That cough just never going to go away. We're going to get you checked out.
You need to get checked out. Worry about yourself.
I was hoping to check my back out this week. Didn't happen. But Angie, bend over. I'll check you, and we'll see what happens there. But I'm going to take your temperature real quick. But when you give a speech, everybody in there, I don't know, I would say they're all rooting for a good speech because nobody wants a bad speech. I don't know if they're rooting for anybody. They're just wanting to get through. It's at school or something. They're like, I don't care what Johnny's saying up there. I just want to it's 10 minutes till class is over. That's all they care about. But nobody's rooting. They're like, I hope he messes up. I hope he messes up. That doesn't happen.
I feel like you're sitting in your own worry. Like you're just like worried about yourself going next. That's all you're thinking about. Or you're sitting there with relief like, okay, I'm done. If you'd already gone.
That's why
you don't even listen.
Nobody wants to do that. But whenever I was in speech class or I had to give a speech in class or whatever, I always wanted to go first. I always wanted to be the first one because then I knew I have to go anyways. Might as well get it over with. But there's no bar set. You're setting the bar. Mm-hmm. You're setting the bar for everybody else. So nobody can judge you as hard, including the teacher, which will help your grade. So I don't.
And by the end of it, everyone's definitely forgotten what you said.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, Angie, you love giving speeches and talking?
No.
Were you quiet like Elle when you had to give speeches in class?
No, I probably kind of like played it up like I wasn't nervous, but I don't know how that came off.
I always had like buddies in my class that would always like try like Scott and stuff and my buddy Danny, and shout out to those boys. But they would always we'd always try to make each other laugh. We'd
oh God.
Or I'd do like one of these for the front row, like feign big interest, but it would always crack you up. So I'd always have to not look at them and stuff.
There was one boy that always did that to me, and he always had to turn around whenever I gave a speech.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
He made him turn around.
Oh, so it's a wild, wild time. But
oh my God.
Anything else? I got more.
I feel like you didn't even. Did you even cover what happened in your trip?
Oh no, that's coming.
Deep.
That's
okay.
coming.
I was gonna say.
That's coming. But getting some housekeeping stuff. I was going to say for housekeeping, but I have a feeling it needed to have its own segment because it's going to be too long. There's 20 minutes of housekeeping right here. But Angie, while I was gone, we did get this on our door. It's from True Green Lawn Care.
We need it.
Pro level results. True Green, a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. And this is a nationwide chain that works on your yard or something. But what struck me as very interesting on this, besides I didn't even read it or look at it. Angie just told me, so we're gonna get that in a second. Do you know where this is going? So Kyle's first job. Kyle, that's me. Kyle. My first ever job at 12 years old was doing exactly this. I went door to door and I put these on every door in the neighborhood. And they dropped off 10,000 of these at my house when I was 12 years old. 10,000. It was like stack on stack. They were rubber band and then they were in a big like garbage bag to protect them or whatever. But had 10,000 and I had to do it all in a week. I had 7 days to get it done. And I had my, map district or whatever, kind of like a paperboy type thing. Now, we've talked many a times about Johnny Gosh. Hopefully you people have looked this up. One of these days, we're going to get his mom in here and we're going to do a deep dive on the Johnny Gosh. We're going to get her in here. And, I was around her a lot as a kid in the grocery store and stuff. So I could probably pull this off. But I heard she lives in Arizona, so maybe not. But anyways, the paperboy kidnappings of my area, there was 3 paperboys that were kidnapped. There was more across. It was a whole thing. This is just a couple years after that, and Kyle's going door to door, multiple neighborhoods in the same area, and my parents could have cared less. They could have cared less.
Oh my God.
Drives me crazy.
Nobody wanted to kidnap you.
Nobody wanted. I hate looking myself in the mirror and saying that I just wasn't desirable to child molesters and kidnappers and stuff as a little kid. I was not what they were looking for.
I'm too big to be grabbed. Who would grab me? Who would be able to grab me? Can you imagine?
I can throw you around pretty good.
You couldn't where you threw your back out.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. But kidnappers, I had to look at myself in the mirror and I had to say to myself that I just was not desirable as a little kid to kidnappers. It's just an absolute shame, but I guess it's one good thing. One good thing. But anyways, 10,000 of these. And how much do you think I got paid for each one? Do you know the answer?
A penny.
I got paid a penny.
You really did.
I got paid a penny for every one I put. So what's 10,000 pennies?
Oh my God, is it $100?
It's not very much.
Is it $10?
I think it's $10,000. 10,000 pennies, $10,000. But I had to get it all done in 7 days. And I'll never forget the guy calling me, like whoever the manager was, or he called the house. And we got reports that people are throwing these in the dumpsters. They're not actually putting them on the houses or something like that. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I'm like 12 years old. You kidding me? I've been out here hoping over. I've been going to school, baseball practice, and I've been doing all this every single night. I've been doing all these neighborhoods and, all by myself. My dad wasn't going to help me, nor did I ask him to, but he should have been. Hopefully Kyle comes home tonight. Hopefully he doesn't get kidnapped. But I remember the guy, and I was just like all worked up at 12 years old. I was just a man then. I was just a man at 12. Now I'm turning into a baby. I'm turning into an old man.
What was your move? Did you ride the bike, eat, teach, stop, or did you kind of get it ahead?
I walked.
Walk on? Oh,
and
really?
I put it all in my backpack. I had my school backpack, and I didn't take all 10,000 at once.
Well,
though,
but still.
And then I said, okay, and this area, and when you're a kid, especially back in the 80s and 90s, you knew the back streets, you knew everywhere to go, you knew all the shortcuts, you knew all that. So like I knew the whole areas because I'd walked them, biked them my whole life. But yeah, because you had to walk house to house. I wasn't going to go all the way down. Back then you cut through the grass of people and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you didn't go on the sidewalks. Come on. Hey, Mr. Talbot, I'm sorry. I'm walking through your garden here, but I got to put this on your thing that you don't even want. But I got this on there and it gave me flashbacks to that, but I didn't even realize this guy wrote on here. He said, "We have a beautiful home, !" I'm a salesman. I know what he's doing here. I know what he's trying to do.
Butter in your
and then he says, "Call me. Your lawn needs serious help." Three exclamation points on that.
It does.
It doesn't need that much help.
Oh my God. So we had a tree go down, and when it fell, it like damaged the grass. So the whole area where the tree was, where they dug out, and then it also has killed a bunch of patches where it fell and damaged.
So we had the big derecho come through, and it took down our huge tree in our front yard. We watched that thing crack. We even covered it on the channel once upon a time years ago. But they said nothing will grow in that area because of the roots and stuff or whatever.
Or
so
you can't replant a tree there.
You can't replace. So I don't know. So there's that, of course. But then I do got some spots here and there every once in a while that the yard's kind of dead.
Remember that one time you spilled the stuff and killed it?
Oh, and that was right over there too. And that's what happened. I had like the lawn seed, the fertilizer stuff, and like I hit a bump or whatever, and a big like.
Or the killer stuff you had in there.
No, it was the lawn food stuff. But it was like a ton went flying over in one spot, and then I tried to dig it up, and it was like too much for the spot. They're little pebble things. It's a whole rigmarole. But the problem is we have acres and acres and fields of opportunities behind our house. But these fields of opportunities have weeds in them. And then they have like dandelions blowing around. And then they get into my backyard. And then I get dandelions.
We don't really have dandelions that bad.
It's worse than I like it to be. And I go out there with the lawn spray. I go out there with the lawn spray and I spray all this stuff, trying to get the kids to help out. Hey, it'd be pretty easy. You just squirt every dandelion you see. Oh, that's too much work for us. But so I go do all this, and it's probably what caused cancer in me. That's probably how I got my cancer last year with all this lawn stuff. And, I get it all in my hands and I wipe it in my face like you normally would or whatever. But anyways, this guy. So I can start by week's end. This guy loves his exclamation points. He's like a young Steve Rosenthal saying stuff. It says, "Let's tackle the weeds and the bare areas and the thinning." Now, there's no thinning. It's pretty thick out there. It's thick like my hair. But he says he's the local direct. 30% off everything with him.
More explanations.
More explanation. And he shows what they offer. "Your tree is in distress. Call me. I can save it." So we got this little umbrella tree on the side of the house. He's got a little bit of a lean to him. He's got a little lean.
Little bend like you.
Like me.
This is actually perfect.
Straight as an arrow. Straight as an arrow. Kidding me? You just got to work harder if you want to really bend.
Okay. Bend until you break.
So thought that was kind of interesting. It's just a little flashback. And then I don't like his attitude. See you later. Goodbye. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.
Down, let me over there.
So Angie, this is the longest housekeeping we've ever had. This was originally going to be the deeper dive, but we're going to talk about it in housekeeping real quick because there's not a ton to talk about. But did you hear the business news this week, putting our business hats on? Did you hear that GameStop is attempting to buy eBay?
What?
Yes. Now, what do you think of that? First thing comes to your mind besides coffee.
I'm just shocked they have the money to do it.
That's exactly right. Now, would you be shocked, I guess not, knowing what you know, that eBay is like worth double the amount of GameStop? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of weird to see a littler company try to take over a bigger company. So I don't know if GameStop has some investors they're trying to work on. Honestly, I didn't read all the way into the deep financial articles of all that stuff. But GameStop trying to make what I would say is a power move, Angie. And I've heard Conrad Thompson and others in this Morgan & Morgan. You heard this law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Then their commercials now, they're talking about power moves. And I'm thinking about suing a lawsuit company because I've been talking power moves for a long time. And they're stealing some of my mojo there. But that's a power move by GameStop to try to drum up their name once again. We've seen the stock market, people just going after GameStop and stuff. There's been kind of shenanigans there. But I think GameStop's on life support. They're trying to do anything to bring noise to them or throw that Hail Mary pass to keep them alive.
Hail Mary.
GameStop's basically closed all around us. There's this one that is in the mall, and it's not even the best mall, but it's like the worst experience of my life. There's nothing there. It smells. They have no heat. They have no air conditioning. It's a brutal place. It's a
and
brutal
you know
place.
the employees there. Whew.
Oh yeah, you know those, Angie.
Did they shower?
No. Did they or did they not? You never know. And then there's one in the nice mall here, which that's probably the best one, but it's a whole fiasco to get to it, so I don't go there very often. And there's one in another town, but I think 4 of them have closed recently here. So GameStop hurting for certain. There's no doubt about it.
Well, you might be there tonight.
I'm going to stop in there tonight. I'm going to go to the Toys R Us there at the mall. So it's going to be quite the time. But thought that was interesting to see GameStop making a Hail Mary. I don't buy a lot of stuff at GameStop. I just recently got 2 Mortal Kombat figures there because I have my $5 monthly reward. And then I had some points. So I basically got one of them half off, which made them basically both retail price. It's a whole fiasco, too.
It's turned into like a Kohl's. Like, so you only go when you have a coupon.
When you got Kohl's cash. Yeah. Now, it's funny Angie brings up Kohl's here, and I don't know if you're thinking about this, but did you know once upon a time Kohl's was a grocery store?
No, I didn't know
Kohl's
that.
used to be a grocery store, and then they had clothing, and then they've converted away from grocery and stuck with the clothes stuff. But did you also know the head honcho of Kohl's? I don't know if it was Bobby Kohl's or whatever. I'd have to look that up. It's been a while since I read the article. He was also in the child molester rings, adopting in pedophilia and all that kind of stuff.
Nobody's surprised.
This is turning into InfoWars right around here, but it all comes back to the paperboy kidnappings of Kyle's childhood.
Full circle moment.
Why wasn't I kidnapped? Was I not pretty enough? What happened? I don't understand. But Johnny, come home.
Just a little guy.
Now, there is a twist in the paperboy kidnappings once again. You guys, hopefully you're following up with this stuff. It is riveting. You got to go down the rabbit hole, trust me. But apparently, the paperboys that were kidnapped have banded together and wrote a book together, and they will be releasing their own books in the future. A lot of people saying they're not real because, for most people say, they're still missing. Now, Johnny Gosh, who was down the street from me, his mom, Noreen, Salt of the Earth, sadness, an era of sadness. When I was a kid and she was in the grocery store, I could feel her presence when she came in the aisle. I could feel, I've never felt overwhelming sadness, and she loved her son. I just wish I had a mom that loved me as much as she was loved.
I don't always laugh when things are sad.
It is, but
I don't mean to.
But she would sit there, and she used to get the card table at my grocery store. There was a little card table, those flimsy legs. She put that down, and she wrote a book about Johnny. And Johnny Come Home, I believe was the story. And she sat there with her book, and she would talk to people, and she'd hope to drum up leads and sell her book and stuff. And I was in an elevator with her one time, and she was always very friendly and nice, but I could always just feel the sadness. And I've never had that experience before. I don't know if that means I'm an empath, or am I like the ghost whisperer? Am I something like that I can read? Where was I going with all this?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
You were talking about Kohl's, I think.
Yeah, and that was a big part of it. So
grocery store, child predator, then you got back to the...
I guess. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going anymore.
Let's just
quit.
Home. Let's just take it to the next
Let's just take it to the next. We're a half hour
30 minutes. Oh my God.
But I got a good hour about my Chicago trip I got to talk about, Angie.
I need to eat. Let's just do the 2 segments, the intro and the trip, and then we'll eat we have a special cake I found at Walmart.
Well, Angie's always bringing that cake, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right, Angie, enough of this. We'll talk child abductions in another video. Trust me.
Alien.
But Angie, now it's time. Brought to you by Decade Eyewear. Use the QR code on the screen. Save yourself $10. It's time for a deeper dive. All right, Angie, it's time for a deeper dive, and you look like you're ready for the Kentucky Derby. You just need one of those derby hats. Yeah. That's all you need. You look like you're ready for summer, and we got a little blue going on here.
First female winner or something.
Kind of matches my mood. Blue. I'm blue. But Angie, it's time for a deeper dive, and it's time to dive into the Chicago trip. This is just one of the all-timers worst trips, and I've been on a guy that's been on a lot of business trips in my life.
You lost your damn mind.
A lot of great nights out on the business trip. I mean, I'm going to Chicago tonight, and Anthrax playing the House of Blues. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm in Milwaukee. Udo Dirkschneider's here. I'm going to go to Udo tonight, and then I'll go to my meeting tomorrow.
Usually, like a bad slice of pizza is like the worst of your problems.
It is, and usually it's like, and it's nice when you go on a work trip. It's inconvenient to be away from home, obviously, but they pay for your hotel, they pay for your dinner, and then if you're in town or something going on, at least you can go to a show or something. So it's almost like a paid vacation without the vacation part. But
oh my God, and you cannot sleep in a hotel. It's wild.
I can't sleep in a hotel. It's weird, and I don't know, it's a weird thing, but I'll only sleep like 3 hours in a hotel, and I kept up the tradition here. I slept about 4 hours each night, I think is what I did.
You probably slept the best on our California trip. because you were with me.
Because I was with you. All those 2 pillows always, hold me tight at night. Those for sure. But Angie, you love it when I go on business trips, right?
No, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
And the dogs get all weird. That's honestly the worst part. They get so weird.
Well, why would they? They're looking for me. I'm the one that hangs out. They're
crying, walking around. They're peeing on your stuff, trying to miss you.
Well, the problem is you guys just ignore the dogs while I'm gone.
No,
so
but the problem is that you go to bed at like midnight. I go to bed at 9. So then they're like trying to wake me up at 3 a.m.
And they're like, man, I got to go to the bathroom once in a while. And once in a while, you got to let us out. And the kids will never do it. So it's just a wild thing. And of course, at night, we sit there and edit videos and we all slumber on the couch together. The dogs get there. I always get Ace between my legs,
up in the
Domino off to the side. And then Lemmy always lays on the ground, but he'll jump up for a little bit. Then he gets hot. Then he jumps back to the ground. Hot. He gets all panty. And don't get your panties in a bunch. And I was very happy, Angie, that you wore panties today.
I don't. You never know. I just might get.
You never know, because Angie normally we've discussed this on here that Angie is very anti-underwear. Of course, she wants this easy access for whatever she needs to do. That's
might need to do a cartwheel. I don't know.
You never know, but she wore it today just for you guys out there, just for you guys and a couple of you gals. You gals. But I did have to take my trip to Chicago, unfortunately, and it's been a long time since I've been to Chicago. The best part about the trip was...
Speaking of, I was just my vagina.
Let's see it. But the best part about... the audio listeners won't see it, but the video ones will. But the nicest thing about Chicago, that was the first time we had like a bigger meeting with a lot of people that I haven't seen since COVID time frame. Angie, make yourself comfortable. Sit in. But I hadn't seen a lot of people in person. I see them in Teams meetings like every single day, but I hadn't seen them in person in a long time. So that was the best part of the trip. But Angie, unfortunately, you guys know, I talked about it earlier, there's so much stuff to work on. I've got so much stuff coming at me for work. My work-life balance is just, here's life,
Did everybody look worse for wear? I forgot to ask you that. Sometimes you go to those meetings, everybody looks like they just like came back from war.
Kinda. I know I did.
Oh my God.
I'll never forget, it was a couple of years ago when we were really stressing about stuff, and a guy told me, Kyle, you look like you've aged like 30 years. Kyle, you look like you've aged like 30 years. And I bet you people were nice enough not to say it. It was what happened, but they probably were thinking that. God. But it was nice to see some people I haven't seen in a long time. So that was definitely the best part. But I was trying to get on the road about 9:30, 10 a.m., of course. I was like, okay, I'm going to do some emails in the morning and then get that off my plate, and then I'm going to get on the road, get to my hotel, all that kind of stuff. And that was my plan. And we know about best laid plans, Angie. As unfortunately, I didn't get to hit the road till, I want to say it was like 11:30, 12 o'clock.
So you got a late start too on top of everything?
Yes. So I got a late start. And I was supposed to go to dinner with one of the guys I work with over there that's from the Chicago area, but I wasn't going to be able to. Well, I would have been able to make it. So there was a thing that happened along the way. It was about an hour and a half into my drive. I needed to get gas. And that was the other thing. We'll get into that maybe later on here, but remind me about gas. But but I'm an hour and a half in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop, get gas. And there's a Walmart, Target right in the same parking lot. I'm going to hit those real quick. And then I'm going to get something to eat. Normally, I don't really eat lunch on the road too often, but I was hungry. I didn't eat breakfast because I got right to work. Long story. And I was like, I don't want to eat fast food, but I ate Wendy's. I was like, I'm just going to get Wendy's. I'm going to try that new spicy chicken. I thought it was amazing the first time I had it. Hottest of garbage. I had it this time. It was terrible. Walmart, Target, didn't get anything there. It was terrible. I did get gas, cost $50. It was great to pay $50 for gas, let me tell you. Because I used to get my gas for free from work. I still kind of do. Now they pay us mileage. But I used to have just a company car and you had a gas card and you just did the gas card. You didn't have to work. I never looked at mileage or any of that kind of stuff. Now I got to pay it and they reimburse you like a month later. I get it. I understand it, but it's not as nice and convenient as it used to be. But I'm in the drive up at this Wendy's. I got gas first. I went to Target, Walmart, got gas because gas handles are disgusting. So you want to make sure you wash your hands. You don't want to be eating and touching that stuff. So wash my hands, got all that ready to go. And then I went to Wendy's. It was absolutely terrible. I'm pulling onto the interstate. And it just dawned on me, Angie, what did I forget?
Your laptop.
My laptop work computer. Knowing I have a 5-hour presentation, which guess what? That laptop's pretty important to that presentation. Heck of a slideshow, Angie. I haven't shown it to you. I will, though. It'll wow you. It'll knock those panties.
I can't imagine the color of the drain from your face.
Oh, it'll knock those panties right off you. That's how good of the show it was. But I just like, you've got to be kidding me. And I like pulled to the side of the road and I looked at my bag and looked at everything. No laptop. I said, you gotta be kidding me. So then your brain goes back and yes, I got a call from a guy and I'm dealing with the call as I'm packing my stuff And I'm like, I know this is going to be a 20-minute call. I'm going to get on the road and kill some time on my 5.5-hour drive to the Chicago area. And that's where I forgot. I got up from the desk, left it there, all that kind of stuff. So, I was losing my mind. I'm like, what can I do here? What can I do here? What can I make? How can I make this right? And there was nothing I could do besides drive the hour and a half back home to get this. And Angie, I called you just because I was also trying to kill time, just to try to take my mind off of having to drive. Now, instead of a 5.5-hour drive, we're looking at like an 8-hour drive for the day because I got to stop, come in here, all that kind of stuff. So I called you. I called good friend of the channel, Jeff George. Shout out to him. Talked to him for a while. Talked to old Mike, who I work with as well. So that killed some of the time. But Angie was so nice. Like, well, can I meet you somewhere? But she had to go pick up the kids from school. So the timing to make it work was just not really possible. There's no way. And I said, this is my mistake. And that's what I said. I said, Angie, I own this. This is my mistake. This is on me. I've got to pay the consequences.
When I mess up, I'm never saying that. I'm saying, please help me.
There's nothing I could do. So it sucked.
Me.
So then I drive all the way home. I get back here. You're not home because the kids and you're picking up Emma in elementary school or whatever.
Yep.
And I'm like, I run in and I had to pee. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go pee real quick. So I run in, I go pee. And then I think I said hi to the dogs real quick. And then I just walked right back out to the... I walk right back out, get in the car, and I literally pull out of the driveway, and I'm like, oh my God. And I forgot the laptop. Are you kidding me? I'm just so thankful I remembered in my driveway. Can you imagine if I would have drove like 20 minutes down the road?
Oh my God.
Because you put the laptop on the counter for me to make it a little quicker access or whatever.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you would have came home from school, you'd be like, you're not here yet or whatever? And I would have been like, oh no. So this is not like me. I usually don't forget stuff. I'm usually very buttoned up on everything all the time. But stress is the silent killer, they say. And it is killing me. It is eating my insides like you wouldn't believe.
Eating your brain.
It is.
Your frontal lobe.
I am lost. I am just an absolute mess. I don't have a time where I can just say I'm done for the day anymore. Can I just be done for today to get over to the next day? It's a wild thing, and it's taken a toll on me. I can feel it. I can definitely feel my anxiety and stress levels at all times. I'm always stressed. I'm a stressful person, but even more. So anyways, then I had to start my trip all over again. It's 5.5 hours on the road. So I'm, gunning it down the road here, trying to get myself to Chicago. And I'm like, now I'm going to hit some rush hour traffic. That's just always fun as well. So I had to deal with all that. I called Jim. I said, Jim, we can't get pizza tonight. We're going to have to do it tomorrow. And he was fine with it and stuff. So that was all good. But I'm going. I stopped along the way as it was like late and I was already tired. You can imagine how much this day drained out of me. Oh, by the way, the whole time I'm driving, work stuff's coming in like crazy that I got to take care of. There's this invoices due here and I got to send this to there and I got to send this report to whatever. So I got all that on my mind and I'm driving down the road and I'm like, and then I had to get gas again. So this brand new Jeep Compass we got, Angie, it's like a 10-gallon tank on this thing. And I forget how many miles you get onto it or whatever, but I guess I'll talk about it right now. I spent $150 in gas to and from Chicago. $150.
It's brutal.
It is brutal. And I forget what my reimbursement is, but I'll get it back in a month. But it's just that 10-gallon tank really sucks on a mini SUV because you got to fill that too often. It needs to be 15.
It's technically 13, but it doesn't get good gas mileage either. I mean,
like,
unless you're all interstate, then maybe you'll get high 20s, but otherwise it's 20.
I was getting 29 miles to a gallon. I was trying to, because this is the first long trip it's actually been on since we got it. And I'm hoping the engine needs to break in a little bit as well.
Like your car's crazy. We filled it up on Sunday, went an hour and a half away, an hour and a half back. And then I've driven it all week and I still have a quarter tank. Yeah. Like, that's crazy.
I got a Ford Fusion Hybrid, which was my former work car. And they let me, and I had it since it was brand new, and they let us buy it when they were getting rid of the work car program. And I got it $5,000 cheaper than it actually like books for.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just going to keep this and have it. And then my daughter, our daughter, I guess, she turned 16 in a year or so.
Yeah,
so
it gets like 500 miles.
Yeah, it gets like 500 miles to the tank. It's like a 12-gallon tank or something. So anyways, that's a much better vehicle for that kind of stuff. But I spent $150.
But it's been making kind of loud noises, so I was scared to make him take it.
It's loud, yeah. It's loud.
But it's got 150,000 miles on it. It's only 6 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of working man's miles, a lot of highway on that one. So it's good. For like $6,000 we paid for it.
I just noticed this kind of feels like a ball sack. You want to feel it?
Gosh, it's warm. It's warm in there. Whoa, there it goes. Angie, there you go. Show us what you do. Just pretend.
Same. It's the right size.
That's a little big. Might be a little big. Oh my. Angie's off the rails here today. What do you got on the mind, Angie? What do you got on the mind? But so anyways, get there, and I stopped along the way to get gas, and I was like, I'm hungry and I'm tired, and I'm not gonna, like, once I get to my hotel and all that, I'm not gonna stop. So what did I eat? So I had Wendy's for lunch, and then at night I ate Burger King. Burger King.
Oh God.
I'm just playing all the hits right here, and it gets worse, people. Just wait. I ate Burger King for dinner. Now, at least they were paid for by the company card, but I was like, I should be going to Portillo's or a fancy pizza place. I should be going to something Chicago specific, not something I can literally walk down the road and get. But that's where I was. Some small town in the Illinois area on the interstate, on the old Ronald Reagan highway or whatever. Oh, so that was...
I ask you what you got. Did you get the original chicken?
Thank you for asking. Thank you.
I forgot.
So, of course, at Burger King, you got to go with the old school long chicken sandwich. Not the circular one, the long one. Yeah, you do, Angie.
Actually, I'm a chicken fries girly.
Oh, yeah, you are. They
I
got
like
new,
the little ones.
They got new ones.
Just pretend like they're little cigarettes.
Oh, my. Angie knows something about smoking a pole or two. But the chicken sandwich, and then I got the onion rings. And the onion rings are always dangerous. I don't like Burger King's fries. I enjoy their onion rings if they're good. These were all cold and old. They'd been sitting around forever. So I took one bite, threw it back in the sack. Then the chicken sandwich.
I bet the car smelled like
and it did. It smelled horrible. I think Burger King smells up a car more than anything else.
Those onion rings.
I don't know what it is, but I ended up stopping at, there was like the rest stop, like just a pull-off thing. I actually did that. It's funny you say that too. And I threw all my garbage away. I was like, I can't have this in here for like the next 2 hours. This is a brand new car. It's going to have that. It's going to kill the smell in there. Mm-hmm. So ate Burger King. So right now, this day has just been terrible. Wendy's, Burger King, extra hour and a half drive because I forgot my computer, all that kind of stuff. And then it starts raining, downpouring. So it's oh, that's always fun. So I got through all of that. Finally got to my hotel, a beautiful Embassy Suites. Embassy Suites are always nice. Did you hit
rush hour or any bad traffic?
It was all right. I was a little bit on the tail end of it. I had like a 5-mile stretch where it was red, yellow, but it was all right. But it sucks when you can see your hotel and you're like, if I could just get there. If I could, I can see it from the interstate. But I was doing some of that. So got there, all that kind of fun stuff. And I was absolutely parched. I was so thirsty. There was no gas stations around my hotel. There was no Target or Walmart. I was hoping there'd be one of those I would see. Luckily, of course, Hilton Honors guy, they gave me 2 free waters. And I downed both of those waters. Like, I drank them both at the same time. That's how thirsty I was. I had a case
of water in that backseat. I should have loved it.
Oh, my gosh. So, anyway, so I finally got in, checked into the Embassy Suites, that whole thing. And of course, I go to check in, and they said my bill was like $697 for 2 nights. And I said, what? And this is the company paying, and it was all on that. But anyways, they forgot to put the company discount into there. I was like, and normally I would just scan my card and move. Like, I don't care. It's the company card. It is what it is. But I noticed this. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. And then, of course, what else did I do? I left my company credit card in my car because I bought the Burger King with, and I put it in the little dash container thing. So I had to go all the way back out there to get that. And I'm like, well, you have it on file. Are you fine? Nope, we got to scan it. And I go, can I just scan this for incidentals? And they're like, nope, got to be the original card. So I had to go all the way back out there in the rain, do this whole thing.
Oh, no.
Then they did, though, in the meantime, figured out, oh, yeah, we were charging you wrong. So that would have been fun to have to call them to explain it when I'm here. Ugh, that would have been horrible. Got a nice spot on the 6th floor. And one thing I noticed when I walked in and I parked my Jeep out there, I noticed right in the parking lot was a beautiful Fogo de Chao. And I've dreamed of going to Fogo de Chao for so many years. I was like, how do I get to this restaurant? How do I go here? There isn't any in our area. One time in Kansas City, we almost went. And Angie's like, well, I'm not really hungry, but I'll just eat a little salad or something. I'm like, we're not spending $60 for you to get a salad. So I haven't went, and it's right there in the parking lot. I'm like, how do I get to this? And then I go up into my hotel, which is a nice little executive suite or something like that. It was a very nice hotel. I open up the window to see what my view is at. And there it is. I'm just overlooking the Fogo de Chao. I'm just like, you kidding me? The Fogo de Chao. And then on the door, right by the door, there's a big thing. Take this. Say you're staying at the embassy. You get $10 off your Fogo de Chao. But I was paying with a work card, so that doesn't really matter either way. But, so I just wanted this Fogo de Chao so bad. But anyways, I had to study because the next morning, I had to give a presentation on a new customer I just literally took over like a week ago. I'm like, how am I supposed to give an hour-long presentation on this customer when I don't know anything about it? So I was actually shocked how much I did talk. There was another guy that was helping me with this because he'd had it in the past. But I was actually shocked how much I knew. Like, I just can turn those things on a little bit. But anyways,
Well,
that's
you can turn a minute story in an hour. So.
I can't, as we can see with the timer going here. So it was very, very frustrating all in all there. So long story short, I got through the first day and all that kind of stuff. I did get pizza with Jim, my buddy Jim. We did go to Little Pops, it was called, I think. It was in Naperville. Very good pizza. But of course, this is how the story goes. We ordered, when I go to a new pizza place, I like to try the sausage pepperoni is what I like to try. If they can hit sausage pepperoni, I know I can move on to more complicated things. The New York style, very good. We come out there and they bring the pizza to us. And, we get our slices and we're like, boy, this looks a little strange. And it was like the big pepperonis, like the big ones, the big ones. I like the tight ones that are curled a little bit, Angie. And if they got a little tan to them, even better, right? You know how I like it. But these are the big floppy ones is what they were. And then it looked like, I was like, is this sausage? But it looked almost like caramelized onions. And it looked a little strange. And I don't dislike caramelized onions, but it almost looked like sausage, how it was brown and stuff. But we're each eating a piece. I'm like, is this really sausage pepper? We're not sure. I was like, it kind of tastes like onions. We're each 2 slices in and we're talking the whole time like, this doesn't taste right. They gave us the pizza to the table next to us. Oh, and then those people are like, what? And we're like, oh, sorry about that. We ate too. We were like, our waitress just disappeared, never said anything or anything. And then they bring us our right pizza. I'm like, wait a minute, this is our pizza. And then you see the cup pepperonis. It looked like sausage pepperoni. I'm like, Jim and I are like, how are we fooled by this? But we thought it was like fancy pizza or something. Felt bad for the people next to us. And they're like, well, we feel bad. We'll get your pizza. And then you guys get to enjoy 2 pizzas here. So got to try another pizza. It was pretty good. Got the garlic crust, sausage pepperoni. All was right in the world. Great conversation.
Did you ever figure out what it was?
Yeah, it was...
was it caramel?
It was like I forget what it is. Prosciutto or...
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto, caramelized onions, and hot honey is what it is. I'm like...
Fancy.
And I told the people next to it, they're like, well, how is it? I'm like, well, I don't taste the hot honey. And the meat's pretty thin on here. And the caramelized onions is a choice. That's what I told them. But
it's like a little charcuterie board on it.
They weren't in a hurry. They were like an old retired couple. They were like fine. They
probably got a comp, didn't they?
I'm sure. I think they did. And they were enjoying their wine. They're doing one of these things, and they're just having their time where they don't have a stressful presentation the next day to get to. But enjoyed both pizzas. Enjoyed the conversation with Jim. He's a real one out there. Shout out to Jim, of course. Went back to the hotel, and then I had to study my presentation, get all ready for that kind of stuff. So then the next morning, go to my presentation. Spend the night there. Am I missing anything here? I don't know. Who knows where it goes? Go to my presentation the next morning. Of course, there's a whole disaster with distribution and stuff. So it really cut the flow of my 5-hour presentation. I had a 5-hour presentation I had to give. We started off an hour and a half late because of these emergency conference calls in the morning. I started presenting. Then there's another half-hour emergency conference call. I presented for like another 45 minutes. Another conference call. And then some of the leaders that were supposed to be there never came back for the conference call. So it kind of made me mad because I put all this work in, did all this travel, have had all this nightmare, and it almost nobody had their mind on what I was presenting for the most part.
You could have done it from home.
I could have done it from home, and everybody's mind was elsewhere, rightfully so, because issues happening right now compared to a story of what's going to happen the rest of the year, you got to take what the issue is right now.
It's so much wasted company money. It's just so crazy.
So it was a little bit rough, but it was fine. And like we were talking about earlier, sometimes you think you did a bad presentation, but I think it was okay. It was fine in the end. Everybody said it was a great job. It was good or whatever. But I'm like, get me home. Anyways, got to leave. I didn't have to present the whole 5 hours. So let's just stop. We're good. We got it. We got these other issues. Let's get on the road. And that's what I did. I said, I'm going to get on the road
because... on the road a little too quick, though.
We're getting there. So this is Friday, of course, Friday afternoon. And I'm like, I want to beat rush hour. I want to get home out of traffic. So I got out of there 12:30-ish, I think is what it was. So I beat the traffic. I didn't have to fight really any traffic. I got right on the road. And I'm hungry, of course, because I'm never hungry for breakfast in the mornings on the road. I don't sleep in the hotels either. And I'm on the road. So I ended up stopping in Dixon, Illinois. And everybody wants a little Dixon, right, Angie? Little sticks in you, of course. So I stopped at Dixon, Illinois. This Arthur's Deli sign always taunting me from the road, this big pickle. It's a crazy thing. But I stopped at Dixon because, oh, shocker, I had to get gas again. And there was a Walmart right there. So I'm going to go to this Walmart, get gas, all that. 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm already there. I might as well travel into this Walmart. This Walmart and the people of Dixon, Illinois. If you live in Dixon, you're not a real one. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. I hate that Dixon Walmart. We went there one time. We got our Dixon that one time over there, and you got some clearance shoes. There was this huge thing of clearance shoes. It was crazy. But the people in this, it's Friday afternoon. It's packed. every line is super long and all this. And a good friend of the channel, Dougie, I ended up finding him DDP Ultimate and the Cactus Jack Chelsea Green 2-pack. He wanted both of those. I wasn't even buying anything at this Walmart, but I waited in this line forever, for absolute ever. And these people took forever. But anyways,
the IQ is low.
Oh, it was bad. People in my way constantly. The parking lot, people in the way. People just like stopped in the middle waiting an hour. Like it took me 20 minutes just to park. And I'm a guy like, I'm not going to park up front. I'll park in the way back. Especially if I got a new vehicle, I'll park in the way back. I couldn't even get to the way back to park because so many people were in my way constantly. I was already fired up. I was like, can you just move? Let's get out of here. And then there was like an old school taxi, not an Uber or Lyft, but like an old school taxi. And it's parked like sideways in front of the store. It's blocking both sides of the traffic. And they're waiting for this old lady with her walker trying to get out there. And I'm just losing my mind. I'm like, I need to be on the road. I need to get going. I got to film toy news. I filmed that on Friday late afternoon. I'm going to be filming it late. I'm already tired. I'm already exhausted, but I got to do it because I'm so consistent with my videos. And I've done it 6 years straight. I can't miss a video. So I'm just fired up in the parking lot, all this. And then inside, same thing. There's people with carts. There's these old ladies. There's these people that just everybody's in my way. I'm just trying to zigzag through, get all there. I get these. Of course, I find these figures. I knew he needs those. I'm like, I really want to go. I shouldn't get this. It would get me faster. But I'm like, I got to do the right thing. Got to help out a fellow collector. So I did that. And I waited in line. And I'm sitting there waiting forever. And it's just not moving. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the other side of the express. It looks shorter down there. I'm looking down. It looks shorter. You know my vision. Just great vision, of course. I get down there. I'm like, aha, here's a spot right here. And I get in front of this lady. There's two. And I'm next in line for the express, the self-checkout thing. And there's this young girl. She's got like 3 things. I'm like, this is going to be a piece of cake. She's young. She's going to get zip in and out. I have no idea what she was doing. I don't know. She couldn't pay. She was sitting there forever. It literally took forever. She had 3 items and it took forever. And so then I'm like, I can't believe this other lady who's got a basket full of things. I was counting. She's like way over 14. She was like 48 items. It was supposed to be 14. Cheating the system. She's taken absolutely forever. Just forever. And it's just like the slowest thing. And she'd look at it. It was like comical. Like she knew I was waiting, but she didn't. She was oblivious to the world. And the other lady with only 3 things was taking forever. Anyways, long story short, this lady with the 48 things finished before the lady with 3. I would have never put my money on that one. And she's like, I'm sorry I took so long. And I just flipped her the finger. It's get out of here. Dixon people. But then I get there and I'm just those 2 things. And I think I grabbed I didn't grab anything. I just grabbed those 2 figures. I was thinking I got something. That's at the gas station. I'll get to that. I'm trying to check out. I check out. And then the lady behind me taps me on the shoulder. Some other old lady. You forgot this. And the lady in front of me had like leeks or something. I don't know what she was making with these leeks, but it was like a stalk off of a leek, like a little leaf off of it. Yeah. And she like thought it was mine. Like, do I look like I have anything like that? But she tapped me on the shoulder from behind. Do you need this? And I just looked at her dead in the eye and I said, oh, that's the secret recipe for my stew I'm making tonight. That's my secret ingredient. And she started laughing like I told the funniest joke of all time. I wish you laughed that hard at these jokes, but And I just looked at her, I'm like, and she goes, and then she thought it was like really mine or something. Like I was like, I don't know what she was thinking. It was weird. But I was like joking. And she's like, oh, that's great. What's stew? And I'm just ignore her. And I walk, I'm like, that's garbage. That's not mine. So I finally get out of this Walmart. And of course, parking lot, 20 minutes later, still just nightmare in this parking lot. Can't get out, waiting for people in front of me. It's horrible. Usually I pull through and I can get out. I didn't even have the opportunity. Dixon, what are we doing? So anyways, I needed to get gas. So there's a Casey's gas station. If you've ever been to Casey's, right off the interstate, I'm like, I'm going to go to Casey's. I always use the points. Got to get a deal out there. Use her phone number, get the points in there. We'll get a free pizza. We'll get money off our gas, whatever it is. And then I'm like, I'm so hungry. There's nothing else around this Dixon except a Jersey Mike's and a Chipotle. I can't eat Jersey Mike's and Chipotle driving down the interstate at 100 miles per hour. I just can't do that. Can't be eating that. I can't do that. So I ended up like, oh, I'm going to get something at this Casey's. They got slices of pizza, popcorn, chicken. Of course, I go in there, the heart of lunchtime, 12:30. You think they have any of those things? Of course they don't. And it's packed there too. I can't get a parking spot. It's taken forever. I'm just so frustrated and mad. I'm sure my face was just bright red. Only thing they had in the warmer case, what do you think it was? Something I've never had from Casey's. And I said, well, today's the day.
I don't know. A chicken sandwich?
Close. A pork tenderloin sandwich. That's what I ate for lunch. So in my meals, I had the one nice pizza meal. I had Burger King, Wendy's, Casey's gas station pork tenderloin. God awful. It was horrible. I mean, it was better than I thought it was going to be. It was still horrible. And I'm eating that thing while I'm going down the road. That's more manageable and stuff. And I ended up getting 2 monsters. I was so worked up and mad, I got 2 monsters. 2 monsters for the ride home. and I got a Diet Mountain Dew. So I'm all caffeinated. I'm all fired up here. And I did get a candy bar, and I got a whatchamacallit, which is an all-timer. Go back to the early episodes of some of the greatest candy bars ever. I got the whatchamacallit. It was very good. It was a little hard. It did break. Anyways, Angie, we go from there. This story just keeps going. I finally get back on the road. I'm hustling to get home. I think I got home. Did we eat dinner together that night?
I thought so.
Did you order pizza or something, maybe? Probably Casey's Pizza. I'm sure that's what happened. I can't remember what happened, but I got home at like 6 o'clock, and I said, I got to go downstairs. I got to film this whole thing. And what happens, Angie? I get down there. I get all ready to film, get my microphone going. And what is missing? I forgot the phone that I film on in my hotel room in Chicago. Are you kidding me? I was so mad. I said, oh no. And I did. I left it at the Embassy Suites in Chicago. I left my phone. Now, I do have another phone, so I used my personal phone to record on for toy news and stuff. Called the hotel. They gave me the whole thing. Maids are all gone. We're not sure. If we can find it, we'll let you know. They did thankfully get back to me the next day. They did find the phone. Had to pay $35 to ship the phone back to me. It came in a huge box with just the phone in it.
Just flopping around.
Never seen something flopping like that. But I did get the phone back. It does work. All was good, but it was $35. Another mistake by me. Another one. I forget my laptop on the way. Forget my phone on the way home. So angry. So then, of course, that's a whole rigmarole with my settings to film the toy news. I go there to turn on my ring light. Ring light won't work, won't come on. I'm like, are you kidding me? Go to the microphones. I start recording. The microphones were not pairing because it was a different phone. So I had to go through the pairing process, get all that going. All the time I'm trying to get the ring light to work. I'm switching, plugging it in back and forth. It wouldn't work. I sat there for about an hour and a half fighting with this thing. I was so angry. So if you saw my toy news, you saw how fired up I was. A lot of people said, Kyle, you need to cut out the monster and stuff. But I was so fired up and angry in that. And I was cracking jokes left and right. And then I did the Ram Man Fisto review. People were all fired up about that. Had people in the comments had to delete them out because they're calling me a racist. They were calling me a racist. I love everybody equal. Actually, I hate everybody equally is what I do. But they were all fired up because I said, you know Who Hot, the restaurant? You know the mascot, what he looks like?
Yeah.
Ram Man looks identical to the Who Hot mascot. I said, this looks just like him. They're like, that's racist. Of course, the Mongolian guy's the Mongolian. Literally, look at the logo. It's the logo's face. So then I'm all fired up. So how was your trip while I was away? Was it fun for you?
Not that eventful.
God. So I was late, did the toy news. So if you didn't watch toy news, you didn't watch Ram Man Fisto review, check those out. I was a little bit more animated than normal, a little bit out there. Who knows? So take a breath. Crazy. There's a half hour right there. Imagine doing another 4.5.
How many videos did you have pre-filmed on that phone?
I had 19 videos to edit on that phone. I'm like, and that's where I was all worked up. Can you imagine 19 videos here? I did all the videos. I filmed it. I did all the work for all of it to not be able to do it. It's like how many? I just think of the time that would be wasted. So now I got all these videos to edit. It's been kamikaze
You
style.
can't unbox something twice either.
No, you can't. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't do that. Can't do that. So there it is, Angie. That is a deeper dive. Way, way too long. But now, Angie, it's time for your favorite. Brought to you by Deutsche Snacking Dough. It's time to try new foods because it might taste good.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We gotta try new food because they might taste good.
All right, Angie, it's time to try new foods because they might taste good. And we're going to wrap up this episode with this one. We're going to save Q&A for next week. I got 3 questions. We'll add them to next week. If you got Q&As you want to add or questions you want to add, send it to the KylePetersonShow@gmail.com or put it in the YouTube comments down below. But Angie, it's time for try new foods because it might taste good. What do you got here for us?
Walmart's Marketside Cafe came out with a Dubai-style chocolate cake.
Dubai, all the rage. Walmart.
Got the kafifi.
Walmart, but Angie, we got a little pre-cut action. We cut
Layered
it off
with
the back.
pistachio-flavored mousse and katafi style? I don't know.
You know, Angie, this episode is the least amount of talking you've ever done in an episode. I've just been raging on. So I apologize to the people that wanted more of Angie. But if you want more Angie, join the Patreon. Check out the April Q&A. It'll change your life. And you'll never look at Angie the same way ever again. I can tell you that much if you knew what she was up to.
I don't think they're surprised.
Probably not. But
Angie, we're going to get a bite of all of everything.
I don't like this white stuff here. I know I don't. I don't like white frosting very much. Here we go.
You going?
Yep. That kafifi.
There could be more of it, but I get why they cut it because
Yeah, that's the most expensive part.
Mm-hmm.
This is a ripoff.
Yeah, I mean, you get the subtleness of it. The cake's a little dry.
Yeah, that is very small amount of the Dubai stuff.
But you definitely get the little crunch. I don't even think I can show them.
I don't know.
But I'm trying to figure out, like, what makes the topping special. I don't think anything.
I definitely don't like the white frosting.
The white frosting almost tastes like coffee.
You know, Dubai, they're trying to put Dubai into everything. I'm waiting for the Dubai Blizzard at Dairy Queen. It'll be $35. I'm not a big cake eater either.
That's pretty good, though.
Well, $15 is way too much money.
13.
$13, way too much money. Last month, Angie, we made $14 on this podcast. Made $14 on this podcast last month. So we're a dollar up. I can almost buy a monster. We'll see.
Got this cake for free.
I don't know. I would never buy this. I even kind of turned my nose up at the idea of getting this. This was all your idea, and that's fine. You know, you're special in your own way too, so you can get what you want. But Angie, the nice thing is the kids will probably enjoy this, but I have a feeling you guys are going to smash this whole thing tonight after dinner, and it'll be gone. That's my guess. And I don't need any more. No more cake in my heart. So, Angie, if you had to rate this cake, though,
I'll give it a 3.
3?
The flavors were good. The flavors were on, but the cake was a little dry, and then there wasn't enough filling.
This was all gimmick. They're like, we're going to capitalize on the Dubai craze.
Dubai.
And we're just not going to
What's
have...
those little shavings there on top?
I don't know. So you're giving it a 3 out of
See how
5.
thin that... Well, it doesn't actually... Maybe we didn't get much filling because we I cut off the back because it actually looks like there's more filling from
I
that.
don't know. Anyways, it's not very much filling still. Especially when you cut it, it packs it together. I don't know. She's giving it a 3 out of 5. I think that's awfully generous. I would give this a 1 out of 5. Like, if I had to choose a cake, this wouldn't be what I'd be choosing, that's for sure. Because traditionally, if I'm getting a cake, I like chocolate frosting white cake. This is like the exact opposite. I do like the green baby poop in the middle. That stuff's pretty good. But it's too thin. It's too thin. And it mixes with the cake. It doesn't work for me.
And it also has like an overall like coffee flavor.
And I don't like coffee.
There must be something with the...
You like coffee, though.
I think a lot of people put coffee in or espresso in chocolate cakes.
I don't know, but not for me. I would never do this again, but I'm glad you and the kids will probably eat this later on, I think is what we'll do. So there it is. This has been an off-the-rails show if there ever was one. I got fired up at the beginning. I got even more fired up with my Chicago experience, and we got a little bit of food in this week. But next week, we'll be back on somewhat normal schedule here. We like to try to keep these things right around an hour. People, attention spans go off, and somebody might have to pick up kids from school. Maybe.
You got a little wild today.
Got a little wild. I was getting a little heated, but it's the way it goes from time to time. But if you want to be a question of the week next week, send your questions, YouTube or the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. I already got 3. I'll carry those over for next week. So if you asked a question, we haven't got to it, we'll get it next week. Patreon, check it out. Check out Angie's Q&A. Angie, I'm sorry I stole and talked so much this episode. I didn't give enough Angie time.
It's okay.
But enjoy Angie's Q&A once again. If you want a little bit more off the rails, Patreon, Too Hot for YouTube Patreon exclusive. It's over there, plus a ton of content. A lot of stuff coming to the channels, a lot of stuff going on around here, Angie. I don't know. But Angie, we're going to finish with the age-old question. What did we learn today?
That you're very forgetful when you get stressed.
Apparently, I never was until now.
You like cake?
Love cake.
eBay?
GameStop. That's a deep one. I didn't think you'd pull that one out. Anything else? You got one more.
Terrible food you ate.
Jeez, you were listening. You were listening. So there it is, Angie. That is episode 59 of the Kyle Peterson Show. Next week, episode 60. Got to do something special. Angie, tell everybody goodbye in your own special way.
Bye.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. Use a cobra snake for a nickel.